Hello, Braves countries. Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves. I got my man Andrew Davison on here. How you doing tonight, Aaron? Andrew.
I'm do I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Ken. Thanks for having me on.
We're exhausted, us on Hardcore Braves. We've been giving you a ton of content, and we try to remind everybody. We've already did on the other two podcasts. We're a tired group, man. We have regular jobs, guys. We do appreciate y'all trying to get us to give you more content. We're going to try to. So today in the Coach's Corner, we do the series preview, and we have the Red Sox coming in here, Andrew. They're probably one of their top three most disappointing teams this year in baseball. What do you think about the Sox?
I'm going to beat you to it, and I think they're the most disappointing team in baseball this year. I was actually very high on the Boston Red Sox this year, even after losing Alex Bregman. But I think this is a weird matchup for the Braves. We kind of don't know which type of players on the Red Sox are going to show up. Are they going to show up with the talent, or they're going to show up the way they've been playing?
Yeah, it's a weird series. Real quick, we do the Braves hip coil. Make sure you check that out, Ryan. We did a thing on. We'll look at their pitchers just real quick, just to kind of gloss over it. They are going to throw two really good young kids. Early's going to go Connolly Early, really good young left-hander, and Peyton Tolley is a really hard-throwing left-hander for them. And then game three Sunday, they're not really putting it out. I don't think they want to throw Bayo because we usually hit him. He's kind of due up. They may do a bullpen game, but overall, just real quick, 30,000 feet. What do you think about the pitchers coming in this series?
I think they got I think they got some good young pitchers coming in. Obviously, we haven't seen the two kids that are going to throw Friday and Saturday, so maybe first time around the order may be a little bit of a struggle for us. But once we get through maybe the third or fourth inning, I think we start putting our offense together a little bit better and pulling away from the Boston Red Sox.
Key is to get into their bullpen. Their bullpen can be leaky. Other than the two guys on the back of their bullpen, Mr. Whitlock and Mr. Chapman throw beautiful stuff. They're two of the better relievers in baseball. So the key here to me, I'll get your thoughts on it, Andrew, is to try to get those two young pitchers and Bell out of the game as quick as possible, get in their pen. And because that's where we do have the advantage over them, is that we should have a deeper pen than them. How about you?
Yeah, I agree on that point with our pen being a lot better. Obviously, you want to do your best, stay away from Whitlock and Chapman, as those two guys are probably two top 12 relievers in the game of baseball. Year in and year out right now, they're kind of nasty, so don't be down in the eighth inning. You might probably not coming out of that one with a W, but you never know. But beat them up early, run these kids' pitch counts up early, make them work for it, and make them come to you, make them make a hitter's pitch, and to pound them early, get on them early, and get right onto it as hopefully a good series for the Braves.
Yeah, I agree. They're coming here at 18 and 25. And that would normally, if they were in the National League, they'd be in serious trouble. But they're in the American League, and the playoffs are 500. Will probably get you in or close. So the Red Sox are not ready to punt on this season, so they should come in. Remember, they do have a different manager. Joey Cora Alex Cora was fired, and I think it was a bad deal for him. So, what are your thoughts about them moving on from their manager?
I thought that was just an absolutely terrible move by Red Sox ownership and Craig Breslow. When I worked at the Braves on the field, I kind of worked on during BP. I got to meet Alex Cora a couple of times. He was the nicest human being. He's a great manager. Nothing that's happened this year is on him with the Red Sox. It's all on Craig Breslow. He's put together a terrible team on paper that just does not mesh. I feel really bad for Alex Cora, but this is an opportunity for the new manager to come in and with a really bad American League, still their foot's still open to get into the door in the playoffs, play 500 baseball if they can get hot. They got a lot. They got the talent to do it. It's just can they mesh together and put together some good quality wins against some good teams out of the National League.
I agree. When you're looking at 18 and 25 teams, you try to figure out what's the reasons. It's not their starting rotation, even though Ranger has not been as great as Ranger. He pitched well tonight in a loss to the Phillies. But the fact of the matter is that their rotation can be really good, especially when Crochet comes back. Again, they have two lights out. Their problems on the offensive side of the ball. They have a lot of guys who have really struggled this year. So we're going to take a look at them from our pitching side. Now, look, we're going to throw some really good pitchers in this series. We're going to go with Bryce, Spencer. We'll go Spencer, then Bryce, and then Grant Holmes on Sunday, most likely. And I think the Braves will stick to that, Andrew, because it's a 13-game stretch, and I think they're going to try to we may see Martin Perez Monday just to get through these 13 games. We'll see. But those three are going to throw. I like it. I think it's a good matchup. Let's look at the hitters real quick for the Red Sox. Everybody's going to point to Jarren Duran. That's a guy you heard of, but Jarren's hitting 175 this year. He's really having a down year, Andrew. How do we keep him quiet over the next 3 games?
I really think you got to make him chase and get him behind in the count really early. Mixing up the looks early, first pitch fastballs, first pitch breaking balls out of the zone. Make him chase. He's in his own head. He's kind of that type of player that he sometimes can unfortunately be in his own head, as he's unfortunately had some issues in the past. But he's a really good ball player, and when he gets going, he could be one of the top outfielders in the game of baseball. 2 guys I think the Braves really got to look out for is Wilyer Abreu and Wilson Contreras. They've actually had pretty good seasons for the Red Sox so far, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, driving in some runs, getting on base. A lot of hard hit contact, as those 2 guys came off a good WBC and have carried that into the regular season so far. So look, always got to keep out for Duran, but really got to pay most attention to Wilyer Abreu and Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, everybody wants to talk about Duran and Meyer and some of the other kids, but Abreu, to me, is their best player, and he's had a good season this year. The problem with Wilson Contreras is he's not matching well with this young team. There's a lot of young kids, and they're getting this finger pointing from both sides. So it's been interesting how they come in this series. Their backs are starting to get against their wall because you want to get back to 500 by Memorial Day, and to do that, they're going to have to get hot here all of a sudden. In their lineup, the one guy who has I wouldn't say struggled, has been mediocre this year, that I would definitely watch out for this weekend. Get your thoughts on him. It's Ceddanne Rafaela. I love him as a player, and I think he's just in kind of a bad scene. But what do you think about with him, Andrew?
I agree with you 100%. Rafaela is a really good baseball player. The Red Sox are in a tough position. They got 4 outfielders in 3 positions. So you never know on a given night who's going to be playing in the outfield. But Rafael is a streaky player. He can either strike out a bunch and be chasing a lot of breaking balls outside of the zone, or he's just going to be hitting everything super hard up the middle, finding those gaps. Really, really great player. And he's really fast, so he's really great on the bases, and he plays pretty good defense out in center field. So certainly one to keep an eye on.
The other thing we have to do is we have to keep a lot of these guys off the base paths because they will run. Rafaela will run on us. Duran will run on us. A sneaky guy that will run on us, and somebody who kind of also owns us a little bit is Caleb Durbin, who's playing on a lot of third base for him this year. Now, he's only hitting like 172, but he can do a lot of things on the base pass. Connor Falefa's on here. He can do stuff. So they're a team that we cannot afford to walk guys. We have to throw strikes. They're struggling at the plate. Make them put the ball in play. We have a good defense. I think that's kind of the key. We don't need to be walking guys. We haven't a couple of times over this 5-4 stretch against 3, basically, I think, division winners in the Mariners, Dodgers, and Cubs. The games that we've lost, other than the one tonight, was because our pitchers kind of didn't throw strikes. We definitely got to throw strikes in this series.
Yeah, and I think that's really big for Spencer Strider to get off on a really good start. He's got to start hot, like he did against the Dodgers. Don't be getting behind in the count. Attack with the fastball early. You saw against LA, that fastball is back. Maybe not the same 100-mile-an-hour velo we saw in 2022, 2023, but it's got the rise and it's got the movement that where 97, 98 is going to be playing really well. And to back that off with a really good slider and a wipeout curveball that he's got going on. Bryce Elder's got to keep doing what he's doing. Keep throwing strikes. Keep getting hitters out early in the count. Make sure he can go deep in the game. And then Grant Holmes, Do what you did the first 3 innings against Chicago. Get them out early, make them swing, make them chase. Do what you do best and make sure you get them out, getting ahead, and then to go from there. But so far, my most intriguing is Strider, just bouncing back or going forward, and then making these guys chase.
Yeah, I think the key in this series is the Red Sox are a chase team, and they don't hit the off speed very well, other than one guy. And we're going to get to the one guy me and Andrew both agree on. We got to watch out for big time this series. We'll get to him in a minute. But our pitchers in general, Strider, Elder, and Holmes, have unbelievable, unhittable off speed if they're in the zone. That is a key to me, is get the off speed in the zone, because I think that's where we're heads up on the leg up on the Red Sox, and don't nibble. All three of them can also kind of nibble, and not Elder as much as Strider and Holmes, but I think you're right, Andrew. Is throw strikes, and as far as our bullpen when they come in, Lee has an unhittable slider, and Suarez and Iglesias change. So me as a pitching coach, see how you look at it. I think we throw a lot more off speed this weekend against the Red Sox, because they will chase and they have a tough time hitting it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Make them chase, but then also, that's just how they are as a team right now. They're pressing. They're looking for any way to get hot, kind of like how the Braves were in 2025. But I think this is a big off speed series for our Atlanta Braves pitchers. Look for you maybe see some Tyler Kinley in this series out of the bullpen. A lot of Dylan Lee, maybe some more Aaron Bummer out of this series with that curveball, something like that, to get these guys guessing on some off speed and see a lot of different types of spin from both the lefties and righties.
We're going to see Bummer, because Bummer's sweeper and his curve could be unhittable because he's left-handers. Remember, the Red Sox have a lot of left-handed hitters, so we're going to have to be ready for that. The one guy that we both talked about before we come on here that always seems to do well against us, and he's a veteran player, and I think he's playing to get traded to a contender, and so I think we'll get his best, and that's a really good player in Trevor Story. What are your thoughts on Trevor?
I think Trevor's a great shortstop. He's had a really unfortunate career dealing with a lot of injuries, but when he's out there and he's playing healthy, and he's his normal self, he is one of the best shortstops in the game of baseball. Plays a great defense, has a great power bat. He started off at Colorado. He was made for Colorado with his power, but then he went over to Fenway. He was also made for Fenway to pull the ball over the Green Monster. Like you said, he's certainly playing to get traded at the deadline. And he always plays really well against us, and I think this is an opportunity for him to kind of shine against the best team in baseball. And we got to be ready for him to I think he's going to be a little ultra aggressive at the plate, and to make sure we're catching him off balance, and to make him guess at the plate.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting series. I'm kind of worried about the series just because how we approach those two left-handed kids. If we do well again in that series, then I think we can take 2 out of 3. To recap what we said, I said we were going to sweep the Cubs. I didn't realize Ben Brown was going to turn into Walter Johnson, and we couldn't hit him. And so they deserve to win. But I also did say that Dom Smith would be my pick to click, and Dom had a very good series. He was 5 for 9. And he also, his last at bat tonight against Palencia, who decided to come out and throw 155 miles an hour, he squared it up. He just hit it right at PCA. So I had us going sweet. We won 2 out of 3. I know you can brag a little bit because you said 2 out of 3. Tell us about how your recap on the Cubs was.
I thought we played a lot of bully ball against the Cubs. I predicted us to play bully ball on the last episode that I was on, and we did exactly that. I was very happy to see the way we played aggressively, kind of flexing our muscles, especially in game 1 and that, what was it, maybe the 4th or 5th inning, getting all those runs and kind of all those extra base hits, and then Mauricio Dubon on Wednesday night hitting that dagger in the 8th inning. But I think it was a good series. Like you said, didn't expect Ben Brown to come out and pitch the way he did tonight. I thought we would rattle him a little bit, as we've kind of hit him well in the past. But kudos to Ben Brown. He was dominant tonight in every aspect of the game. And I think you could kind of see that in the first inning, the way he made Drake and Olsen look a little stupid at the plate.
Yeah, he had Matt's number tonight. Matt didn't look good at all against him. He did finally get a hit off their bullpen and his third at bat. Remind me, who was your pick to click in the Cup Series?
If I remember correctly, I think it was Drake Baldwin.
It was. Recently, Drake got a home run. Drake's struggling right now, but Drake did get a home run, and it's never a bad place to go. So, wrap it up. Red Sox, tough weekend series. Crowds have been great this homestand, by the way. Another great crowd tonight. Mm-hmm. I expect 3 sellouts, or at least close to it on Sunday, but definitely Friday and Saturday. So, what do you see happening, and who's your pick to click?
I really want to go sweep, but with how we approach these 2 young lefties from the Red Sox, I do think one of them will get us. So I think we take 2 out of 3 from the Boston Red Sox, but I think it will be a hard 2 out of 3. And then I think my pick to click, I'm going to go Austin Riley. I think this is a team. He sometimes plays well against the Boston Red Sox. He's been hitting lefties well to start the year. I really want to see Austin continue on the great May that he's had. I almost went Ozzie, but I think I'm going to go Austin Riley.
You there? I'm going to tell you this here. Ben and Ryan both took Ozzie. And so they're picked to click. So y'all could have made it a trifecta. Ryan thinks 2 out of 3, and Ben thinks we're going to sweep. I'm like you. I think they're 2 tough lefties, so I don't think we'll do that. I'm going to go 2 out of 3, and I'm going to go Mauricio Dubon. Yes.
That could be always a safe pick.
Yeah, I like the way he spreads out against Heat, and they got a lot of hard throwers, so I'm hoping Mauricio puts the ball in play. So 2 out of 3, I'll go Mauricio. He's got big, thick. I think we're both spot on there. Who do you expect out of the rotation, the 3 starters, to have the best game this weekend?
Yeah, I really want to say Strider because I think he's getting back to old form, gaining all that confidence back. But I'm going to go Big Texas. I think Big Texas is going to come out at home and have a really great start against Boston. I think he matches up well against these guys to where he's really going to be able to hit those corners and use that slider and that curveball to drop it off the table and to get a lot of swing and miss, and maybe he can get 2 or 3 more strikeouts than he usually does.
I agree. I like Big Texas as well. I like the cutter against their left-handers, so I'm going to go Big Texas. So what's your final thought? We'll get on out of here tonight.
Final thought is to this upcoming series is to beat them down early, make them press super hard. If they beat you, they beat you, but don't get beat at your own game. Get on them early, punch them hard in the mouth, and get out of there with 2 W's or hopefully a sweep.
Yeah, the key to me is basically about the same thing. Is you got to get those 2 young lefties off the mound, get in their pen, and that'll help. That'll set up Sunday as well. So get in their pen early, get their pitch counts up, put some runs on, pressure on. I think that we have a chance to do some special things. Win Friday night, and that makes the rest of the weekend pretty easy. So, yeah. All right, that's what we got. Remember, Andrew, you can find Hot Atlanta Highlights on Instagram as well as X under Andrew Davidson. I'm Boyd PC. Remember, everything's on Hardcore Braves, so if you ever get kind of trapped, just go at Hardcore Braves, and you're still going to see all of that. So you can tap into Hot Atlanta Highlights and all of our stuff, Ben and Aaron and Ryan and the other Ryan, which y'all like to call Lethal. His name is actually Ryan, too, and then Greg. So we appreciate y'all, and we love you, Braves Country, and it's always peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.